Welcome to the 912 Food Farmacy program. My name is Liz Juneau. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist, and you're watching this video because you've enrolled in the program. So welcome, glad to have you. So today what we're going to talk about is our produce of the month, which is blueberries. So we're going to talk about the seasonality of blueberries. We're going to talk about the nutritional content, how to pick blueberries, how to store blueberries, and then we're going to do a little demo. We're going to do a blueberry overnight oats. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do some hand washing. And I know you've heard of different ideas for washing your hands for at least 20 seconds, like saying happy birthday to me, but we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a mindfulness exercise. So basically mindfulness is just kind of being in the present and kind of where your feet are. So in this exercise, while we're washing our hands, we're going to take a moment to have a couple of deep breaths to kind of ground ourselves into what we're doing, and then maybe do a little intention. So, turn this on. So, I'm going to take a couple of deep breaths. So you come along with me and do the same thing. And you can take a breath in through your mouth and out through your nose, in through your nose and out through your nose, in through your mouth and out through your mouth. You decide how you want to do it. And just think about your intentions for today. If you're making a meal for other people, what those intentions might be for giving love to people through food and connection. If you're making a meal for yourself, just think about maybe how do you want to nourish yourself. Alrighty. So we're back at our food prep area, but before we get started on our demo for overnight oats, let's talk a little bit more about blueberries. So blueberries are primarily in season through the summer months, mainly June and July. But we're in May and we do have early blueberries now. So we have these absolutely gorgeous blueberries. And so when you pick blueberries, you want them to be plump, of course ripe. This dusty blue color is also what you want to look for in blueberries, and these have all those characteristics. Also pretty uniform as well. Blueberries are interesting in that, just a little trivia about blueberries. So early colonists actually used blueberries. They cooked them in milk to make gray paint. Also, blueberry muffins are the state muffin of Minnesota. And the last bit of trivia is that blueberries freeze really quickly. Like, it only takes 4 minutes for a blueberry to freeze. So the way you want to store blueberries is when you bring them home, you do not want to wash them. You want to store them in the refrigerator for 10 to 14 days, and when you're ready to use them, then go ahead and wash them. The same with freezing blueberries. They freeze really well, but do not wash them prior to freezing. It'll make the skins tough. So take them, freeze them, and then wash them when you're ready to use them. They'll stay in the freezer for 9 months. Okay, so a little nutrition about blueberries. So blueberries are sodium free, blueberries are low in fat, blueberries are a great source of vitamin C and vitamin A. They also have something called phytochemicals. And phytochemicals are nutrients in food that actually help prevent certain diseases like cancer and heart disease. They help with the immune function. So that's, they've got lots of nutritional value. So how would you use blueberries? You can just eat them plain. They're wonderful that way, but you can also use them in a lot of different recipes. So you can use them in muffins, and you can use them in blueberry cobblers, crisps, desserts, pies, of course. They're also great in yogurt, they're great in oatmeal, you can put them in dry cereal, you can use them in salads, either a fruit salad or actually a green salad. So they have a huge variety of uses. The last thing that you can do with blueberries is make things like jams and jellies, and you can also use them in things like vinegars. So you can actually lengthen the life of those fruits if they are getting on the ripe side. So let's go ahead and make our recipe. So let me tell you what we have that we're going to use today. So we're going to use old-fashioned oats, not the instant kind. This has to be the old-fashioned oats. We're going to use milk, and this is just cow's milk, a low-fat cow's milk. We're going to use honey, Reedy's honey, for a little bit of sweetener. We're going to use, of course, the blueberries, and we're going to also use some vanilla extract just to add a little bit of flavoring. So the only thing you actually need as far as materials is you need a mason jar, and you need some measuring cups and measuring spoons. So actually you're going to get a measuring cup set that looks like this, and you're also going to get a mason jar. And then we have a recipe book that this recipe comes out from, the participant cookbook. So we're using the Easy Overnight Blueberry Oats. And then we're going to talk about some variations on the recipe as well. Okay, let's start with our mason jar. And then we're going to use, this is just for one serving. Now keep in mind, you can make multiple servings. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. So we're going to do a half a cup of the oats. That's about half a cup there. And then we're also going to do a half a cup of milk. Going to put it right in the mason jar right there. And then I've already measured out a 1/4 cup of the blueberries. So we're going to put them in there. Oh, one got away. And then we're going to use the honey. You don't have to use any honey, but you can, it does give it a little bit of sweetener. So we're going to use just a teaspoon of honey. And then we're going to use actually a half a teaspoon of the vanilla extract. Just a little bit of that. Now comes the fun part. Shake it up. So now what you're going to do is you're going to store this in the refrigerator. And so you can make these ahead of time, and they last for about 5 days in the refrigerator, but there's tons of variations on this. So you're going to use the oats. You can also use gluten-free oats if you need to eat a gluten-free diet. And then with the milk, instead of cow's milk, you could use almond milk, you could use coconut milk, you could use soy milk. You could put other berries, you could put blackberries, you could put strawberries, you could put peaches, apples, any kind of fruit. You can also add nuts, almonds, walnuts. The list goes on and on and on. You can use other types of sweeteners as well. If you are trying to cut down on some sugars, instead of the honey, you could use a sweetener like stevia. You could add molasses, agave. So there's lots and lots of variations on this. So you're just going to store it in the refrigerator, and then the next morning, voila, you've got your overnight oats. And so these are ones I made last night. And as you can see, here's the consistency. I'll move this so you can kind of see. You can actually eat these cold, or you can warm them up, either way. And then when you're ready to eat them, you can actually just eat them out of the jar. But you can also put more berries. You could add a little bit more milk if you wanted that. so they're ready to eat. Overnight oats, there's your recipe. So blueberries are available now. So you can get the blueberries from the 912 farm truck. You can also get them at the farmer's market. We used honey in this recipe. It is available on the truck as well as the farmer's market. So we'll be using honey in some other recipes going forward. So you might want to purchase some now as well. Let's just take a look at the blueberry here. And remember, we use all our senses for eating. And so it's not just taste, it's also the way things look. It may be smells. So we're gonna just do a little mindfulness. And keep in mind that many people think mindfulness is just like savoring foods or slowing down. That's part of mindfulness, but mindfulness is also just eating with intention and attention. So we're gonna just take a look at this beautiful blueberry. You may wanna smell them. It does have a slight scent to it. And then just savor it a little bit. So, wow, it's juicy, good, yummy. If you've already started the enrollment process, but you haven't received your incentives yet, please come to the farmer's market in Forsyth Park on Saturday to do that. Thank you so much for watching this video. We'll have a link below in the comments that if you're not enrolled in the program, there'll be a link to our website where you can enroll. We'll continue to do these videos, and so join us next month in June. So our produce for June will be making a salad, and so it will be a leek, mushroom, and herb vinaigrette. If you enjoyed this video, please comment below and let us know. Be kind. This is our first attempt to show these videos to you. Look forward to seeing you at the 912 truck or the Forsyth Farmers Market. Thank you.